Okay, we're going to look at the marginal value of an education. And once again, marginal means additional. So the additional years of schooling, we're going to look at what the additional costs are for that degree versus the additional benefits that you're going to get from attaining that particular degree. So when we're looking at this idea of is anything worth doing well, and so A said, would a master's degree and a doctorate degree be likely to build the human capital of the student? Yes. So in the process of building knowledge, would the doctorate degree be the best example of doing a job well? Yes, it's the highest degree that you can possibly get. And so we're going to do the math here, and it's very, very easy. It's just calculating marginal, which means additional. So if a high school diploma, your expected lifetime earnings is going to be $800,000, and by getting a 2 years associate's degree, we can increase that to $1,200,000. The difference between these two numbers is $400,000. So by getting an associate's degree, you are going to make an additional $400,000 on top of what you would have made with just a high school diploma. So if we go from a 2-year degree to a 4-year degree, so an associate's to a master's degree, we're going to go from $1,200,000 to $2 million. So we were already making this. So how much is it, the difference between these two numbers? So I'm gaining an additional $800,000 over my lifetime if I get a bachelor's degree. Now a master's degree takes a couple of years beyond your bachelor's degree, and so we're already getting and making $2 million, but if we go, what additional benefit do we get from getting this master's degree? And it's the addition of that $100,000. And then if we go on to get the doctorate, the additional benefit or the additional money that we're going to make is the difference between this and this. So we're going to add an additional $400,000 by getting our doctorate. So now what we need to do is look at the additional costs of each one of those degrees. So when we go from a high school diploma to an associate's degree, it's an addition of $25,000. So we can leave that there. When we go from an associate's degree to a bachelor's degree, the cost is going to be the difference between. So we're already spending $25,000. The total for both is $100,000. So we have an additional $75,000 tied up in just the bachelor's degree. So if we go on to get a master's degree, it's the difference between these two numbers, because I was already spending $100,000 for the bachelor's. How much is the additional? Because this is the total. And so it's going to be an additional $100,000. And then if we go on to get our doctorate, what we can see here is it's going to be an addition of $2,300,000. Yes, let me do the math right in my head here. 200,000, because we're already was here. So the difference between these two numbers is $2,300,000. And so once again, would a master's degree and a doctorate be likely to build human capital? We know that human capital is that knowledge and training that we value to make people more productive and make them smarter and work better. So in the process of building knowledge, would the doctorate degree be the best example? Absolutely. And then it says, assuming that inflation and interest rates considered in these data, what is the optimal degree for this person to earn? And so going back to marginal analysis, we are going to do it to the point where this is our benefit, this is the degree we're going to earn, and this is our cost. So we want it to do it to where our benefits and our cost are as close to equal as we can, but we're never going to do it where our cost is greater. So right here, those aren't equal, those aren't equal. We can see here at the master's degree, our marginal benefit equals our marginal cost. And so it's smarter for us to get a master's degree than it is for a doctorate when we look at the cost versus benefit over our whole entire lifetime. And so C says, which criterion did you use to determine the optimal degree this person should obtain? And we're going to look at the marginal or the additional benefit that we're going to gain by going the extra or getting the extra degree versus the marginal cost, not the total. We're going to look at marginal, because if we looked at the total cost right here, those two equal, and that's not where we want it to be. We want it to be where the marginal cost equal. So it says, since inflation is already factored into the data, what is the most likely reason that the costs of a doctorate degree rose to such a high level? This is where we're going to go back to the explicit and implicit cost. If you're an accountant, you're just looking at the numbers. But what does this number tell you? Not only is it including the explicit costs of the dollars, but now we're going to include all the opportunities, the opportunity costs. What all did we have to give up in order to spend years and years and years and years and years in college to be to the level where we are actually getting our doctorate degree? So included in this cost right here, not only the dollars and cents, but also the opportunity costs.